Hi, it's Susie from Pink Diamond Guide. How are you today? Back with another reading, doing a check-in for twin flames on this current energy cycle that we find ourselves in. And I don't know about you guys, but I am getting hit hard under this current energy cycle. Mars went into Gemini on the 20th of August, and it is all about intense confrontational, if I can even say it, communication. And wow, haven't we been pinged by this energy? This is something where Ricky and I get really raw, and like he's not here with me tonight. Another big day at work, so he's tapped out under all these really intense energies. But him and I have been having the most intense conversations that do border on confrontational. The glorious news about being on this side of union is it's not the kind of confrontation that tears us apart, whereas once upon a time, under these particular energies, it would have triggered the runner-chaser scenario. But this time, we're standing each other up, we're working through the tougher moments, we're going, what is it that is triggering the struggle? Because we've both found ourselves in it, and we're having those raw moments together, working through what it looks like. We notice it's not just us that's affected. Our kids are definitely having their moments where they're feeling more intense. I've had family around and they're saying to me, what is going on with the energies? We're feeling like we could just tear someone a new one. And on top of that, the phone line that I work for, where I work with twin flames a lot outside of what we're doing here, the amount of callers that I'm getting through that work that come in and they're just ready to talk about, please don't shoot the messenger. Oh my word. And it doesn't matter. It's really, really interesting to break down those who are truly on this twin flame journey, who are getting close to understanding what their mission is, versus someone who's fresh and brand new, and trying to take them through the process of going, you really need to heal. You want this connection to come back around. You really need to do the healing work. And oh my gosh, the blast down the phone, particularly from this one client who was just screaming at me saying that you're telling me I'll never get my blessing if I don't do my ascension work, and like just about screaming at me down the line. And I'm like, okay, let's break this down step by step by step. So what I want to say to you, because for these readings, just to clarify, we do read from the perspective of the divine feminine, and we're particularly looking at twins in separation for that aspect that gives us a focal point for which to do the reading. So it's where was I going with that? I don't even know. But let me check. I went back and had a look. I had to go, where was that headed? Because it's like such big energy. But it was like I was telling Ricky this afternoon, is like, I feel like people want to shoot the messenger as much as we're trying to bring a message forward saying that this is a cycle within a cycle, and that we, part of being on a twin flame journey is that you move through these ascension processes, and you've clearly reached out for help because you want information about what's currently happening. But this is the thing: if you want to shoot the messenger in between time, it was a really tough gig, and by the end of the day, my energy was just feeling so shattered, trying to move through the process. On the flip side of that, the work that we're doing here on YouTube and the people that we're talking with in our Pink Diamond Guide community feel like they have a deeper level of understanding of that these cycles move for your own good, and the current push, this magnified healing, this more intense confrontational communication, it's all here for you to gain something out of. And I'm meant to be learning something out of being on the receiving end. Like, I want to say to you, what I'm feeling today is fully don't shoot the messenger. So let's read about that with Mars in Gemini. And it's just moved in there from the 20th of the 8th. We've got this intensification of communication. So it's going to feel like it's a more confrontational energy, and we're feeling this progression happen. We've got Mercury about to move out of Virgo, and that will move then on into Libra, and then we've still got the Venus and Leo connection playing out. So we've still got those bigger, bolder expressions of love, but we should start to feel like things come into balance. We should start to feel like it's a more settled version of what we've been in, because we get that Mercury Libra scenario playing out, which is really, really heartening. Just a little transition there. As I was saying, Mercury will go into Libra, which should bring about more balanced communication, but then it will do its retrograde from, I believe September 9th, it's going to have a retrograde. Start it in Libra and go back into Virgo for a little bit. So we are moving up into some intensive energies. They're going to play out for a minute, and like I was saying, is whatever you're learning, whatever's coming at you, the message that I'm getting is don't shoot the messenger, but let it come in, let it fire you up, let it magnify what you've got going on, let the dark side rise up. Let it be seen, let it be on display, so that forward movement can happen. That Jupiter Chiron retrograde really wants to magnify healing. August 27, we're looking at a new moon that's cleansing. There's a lot going on astrologically. So, Divine Feminine, let's get this reading underway. I'm really interested to see how these supercharged energies are going to play out with our tarot. Let's have a look. Ooh, Knight of Cups is our first card out. Then we've got, look, the Five of Swords, right? Then we've got the Sun. Oh my gosh. Then we've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Six of Swords. We've got the Queen of Wands. Wow, what is that? We've got the Ten of Wands, the Ace of Swords, the Nine of Wands, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Judgment card. Gosh, these are on repeat, aren't they? I feel like these cards might have magnets on them, how relentlessly these messages are coming forward. But let's review them in regards to, sorry, I was just straightening those up. It annoys me when they're crooked. With regards to what we're talking about with don't shoot the messenger. So right now there's a big push from the universe that's probably going to feel intense or confrontational. It'll be bigger expressions that you want to express outwardly. There's magnified healing with the Jupiter Chiron retrograde. What is the universe going to tell us about this? First card out, Judgment, this layer of energy. Judgment, Four of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups. Don't shoot the messenger. Look at this, Judgment, straight up. Going, if you are in toe-to-toe with the divine right now, and there is a push upon you to learn some level of whatever the next level of ascension is, how this is playing out for me is my next big level of understanding is really about sacred geometry. I'm really diving deeply into what was, I would call, a surface level of sacred geometry and how that all works, into being really pushed into a much deeper understanding. Now, this information comes at me in visions first, so I get the push to know what to go and study, and then I'll go look for it out in the real world, and I'll try and get my head to wrap my brain around what spirit is trying. So it's like crystallizing the message from spirit, making it tangible, making it real, making it something that I can actually work with. In the meantime, like with everything I've got going, that's a lot for my brain to wrap my head around. And I'm looking at the divine going, is this really time for me to be having this level of intense communication with you? You really want me to use and look, that Mercury Virgo energy that's playing out, you really want me to get into my smart brain right now and understand this sacred geometry stuff on this level. So I don't know how it's playing out for you, Divine Feminine. You will have your version of this push. For mine, I'm showing up every day, trying to do my bit for the collective in breaking down the energies and trying to understand what's going on for the twin flame community. On top of that, I'm going through my own version of learning and growing, and having to deal with the intense confrontational communication that happens between everyone who's in my circle, and working on the line that I do. Like it's intense. So here, the very natural thing would be to just stop. Just put the brakes on something. It's all happening very, very quickly to want to move into the next level of understanding. So it's like I've talked in readings before that you feel like they have this really, really fast push coming against you, but feel like it's slow to cement. But on some level, you've got to get there really, really quickly. So it's a really, really complicated energy that we're breaking down. And the temptation is to want to shoot the messenger who's delivering you the information, right? To be able to go, right, I can't take any more. Stop. Slow the world down. I need to get off for a minute and have a little bit of a be healthy, selfish, right? Four of Pentacles. This is drawing in all this information, drawing in all this push, absorbing this external, like for mine, it feels like I'm gathering things from the external world. The push came from spirit to tell me what to do, where to go, how to move through it. And now the energy has shifted to going, you need to bring something very external, and external learning now needs to be crystallized within you. And here, as a result of that, here is my Ace of Cups. And if you followed our readings before, you'll know that I see the Ace of Cups not just as a fresh start in love, but as a true understanding of universal love, divine love, self-love, and twin flame love. So whatever is playing out that right now you really just want to shoot the messenger for, so however this lesson has come at you, whatever the pace is, or how difficult it is to transcend the lesson, keep doing the healthy, selfish work. Take a break when you need to take a break. Meditate if you need to. Have a big drink of water. Go for a walk in nature. But as you collect this information, keep the words in your mind. Healthy, selfish is a really, really good thing, because it is easy to tip into confrontational communication. It really is. And Ricky and I, we are not immune from this energy, and we've definitely had our moments where we've had to go take a breather. What's going on? Talk it out calmly and slowly. Let's get to the bottom of this pool without doing any damage to the connection. Once upon a time, it would have triggered runner chaser energy, but where we are in our scenario gives us the capacity to run this communication more healthily, even though it is intense and confrontational. So if that's playing out for you as well, it's designed to give us deeper understanding into the way divine love, self-love, and twin love works. Okay, so that's a big push from the universe. And I think the divine is saying that it's the same way I was saying on my phone line to this client this morning. I was like, please don't shoot the messenger. I'm here to help. I feel like the divine is bringing that message through for us. Please don't shoot the messenger. I really want you to know this stuff. Okay, next level. What's going on here? See, look, this, you can't even make that up, can you? Wounded warrior energy comes in. 9 of Wands. It's like, oh my gosh, divine, how many battles must I fight for you to give me clarity on where it is I'm going and what I'm supposed to be doing? As the next layer of information comes in, it makes you feel battle weary, doesn't it? It makes you feel battle weary. Like legit, I want to say the level of exhaustion that we are experiencing trying to manage these bigger energies is nearly overwhelming. It feels battle weary. And I'm going to let you know, I'm someone who manages my energy well. I meditate, I walk with my feet on the grass, I ground, I sleep well, I take whatever nutrition I need to feel well. And this is bowling me over. Like it's like the level of exhaustion and feeling like it's coming at me at such a rate of knots. But also the way that the understandings are coming through. And this was predicted by the end of August. The way these energies will play out is that we will come into focus. It's kind of like, how I describe it is if you've been walking in mud and we went through this with a reading. Shout out to you, Michelle. If this is, I'm pretty sure we talked about this, darling. Walking through mud and then picking your hand up to wipe your eyes, and you just wipe more mud in your eyes. And it's like going at the end of August, that feeling, it takes the mud away from your eyes, and you get to the end of the burden of feeling like you're walking through something very, very muddy, and every time you try to clear your vision, you know you've got mud all over your face, and you wipe it and you just put more mud in your face. But the divine is saying, when this clarity comes, when this clear vision comes, yes, you'll feel battle weary, like you've been through, you've run a gauntlet on one of your divine lessons, but you're coming to the end of feeling like you are in that gauntlet energy, which is bring it on, right? Bring it on. What is the push from the universe? A revitalized feeling of love. I think Ricky and I would both put our hand up for a revitalized feeling of love right now. It has been grind. It has legit, and I want to be honest to you. I know that when we do our readings together, that you see the way we play off each other, where we can be funny, we can tease, we can be all sorts of varied ways that we connect. But we can also, like, just because you come into union doesn't excuse you from the push of something like a Mars in Gemini swing where it gets intense and confrontational. We're not excused from another level of healing. So for me to sit here, I want to be red hot honest, and when Ricky's feeling up to it, I'm sure he'll lean into the conversation as well, and let you know we're not immune from going through another level of ascension together this time. And, you know, on some levels that's tougher because we've made this commitment not to run anymore. So, you know, what I want to say to you is, if you're going through this and you're independent at the moment, because we target these readings at twins in separation, and we know that you'll be feeling these energies, but going through them independently and feeling tough because you don't have that person to bounce off. And we want you to know we see you in that moment, and that you're ready for this fresh, revitalized feeling of love the same way we are. We're ready for that intensity of feeling like we have to dredge up the mud again for another round of washing. It's what's going on, legit. You know, we're like, I'm not going to take us off the hook in telling you that we've gone through another round of like going, what's muddy in the connection, what can we clean? And it can feel intense to dive back into those emotions. So if you're going through it independently, it's probably the divine putting the mud in front of you. We're putting the mud in front of each other and going, let's clean this up, but the divine is probably raising it for you so that you can bring in this fresh new energy, this clean, I want to call it clean cup to drink from, where we've been able to wash the mud out of it. Tough gig, right? And even in this process, look how you're showing up. You feel like you're having some level of victory, or your communication is getting through. Does it feel like it's a victory with collateral damage? Yeah, it does. And it's like going, don't shoot the messenger. And even between us two right now, as we're delivering each other tough lessons and we're working way through it, we're looking at each other and going, well, don't shoot the messenger. This needs to be cleaned. We've got mud in the water again, and it's making it. That's the thing. Is like, you know, it only takes 1% of mud in your cup here to make it like you don't want to drink it. And if you've been trying to wipe the mud from your eyes, and you've grabbed this cup and a bit of mud has got in it, it needs to be cleaned. And here, it's going to feel like another round. If you're going through this with you and the divine, it's going to feel like you have a victory, but on somehow you've had some collateral damage. What truths have you had to face? What pain has resurfaced? What battle is it that you're going through under this particular energy that has to be overcome? And as you have this victory, it does feel like it comes with some kind of price to pay. And that's not always easy. It's not easy to get yourself through these energies, particularly when you're sitting in separation. Like, honestly, I know this energy so well. And it's like to have to be dancing in it again, even from where I'm sitting, it's like it's taking me right back to where I was sitting when I was having to battle these just between me and the divine. And did I want to shoot the messenger? Hell yeah, I wanted to chop his head off. I did not want to go through level after level after level after level of ascension for no reward. But what this is saying to me here is, yes, we've got another round of information coming through. We're leveling up on what we know and understand about. Here we've got our Ace of Cups, so divine love, twin love, self-love, the whole box and dice pouring in and overflowing from this cup, and you will have victory over this intense communication. It may have some collateral damage, but you'll have your victory, because look what we've got in the sun space. Oh, in the soul space. I said the sun space, but the soul space, because I'm so excited to see the sun there. It is the happiest card in tarot, right? So it's like going, here's your victory. Your victory's there. Has it been hard fought and won because you did the work you needed to do to understand what this is, because you did the healthy selfish, because you went toe to toe with the divine again? All of that process, this over here again, going, even though you're battle weary, you're getting up and you're facing the day again. You're fighting for clarity, you're fighting for understanding, you're fighting for compassion, focus, moving into absolute understanding and the end of this round of the burden. So we're not going to sit in suffering long, divine feminine, because in our soul space we have got the sun. That is a feeling of going, I have got abundance in my soul space. I am happy, I am joyful, the sun is shining, I can attract any kind of manifestation towards me that I want. And see here, look at this happy couple on here, right? They've figured their shit out, right? They know that the divine's got them covered. They're trusting the journey, they're trusting the process, they're trusting each other. So for mine, the soul space has got it covered. Even though it may feel levels of intensity on the surface, the soul knows what's going on. What is the challenge? I'm not even kidding, right? To get up and keep grinding. Are you feeling it, divine feminine? I know I am. Is like wanting to just have a moment where this push stops for a little bit. It's so intense. And I know it's been building and building and building over the past few weeks, but it's hit now. It's hit at full force, and it's going to take a moment to dissipate, right? So I'm really, really hopeful that when the new moon comes in on August 27, it's going to wash all the mud away. In between time, divine feminine, what's the challenge? The challenge is going to be to do the work. Where is it? The challenge is going to be to keep showing up and wanting to do the lessons, to keep showing up and wanting to have the understandings. Now, I'm going to tell you, and it might resonate for you, it might not, because the lesson that I'm doing in sacred geometry right now is really unpacking the shapes and flattening them and seeing how they all fit together. And I keep feeling as though, like and I've talked about it before, it's like turning puzzle pieces around and connecting them. And it feels like you're doing a jigsaw puzzle, but all the pieces look the same. And it's really grueling to put it together, but it's madly satisfying when you understand the bigger picture. And this is kind of where I'm at right now, I've got all the puzzle pieces of sacred geometry trying to be understood at another level. And it's like, whatever your puzzle piece is, divine feminine, does it feel like all the pieces look the same? And every day you get up to work the problem, it's like, I'll twist it, I'll turn it, I'll flip it over, I'll shift, adjust, and I'll get it to work. You know what Ricky said to me today? He goes, instead of trying to twist it, turn it, he goes, why don't you sand it and polish it? And I went, what? He says, maybe you need to sand and polish. And I went, I hadn't even really, I'm like, where does that come? Where does that come from? Why are you saying that? And it's again, don't shoot the messenger. And it's like going, because I've been trying the same process over and over and over and over and over again to understand what it was I was meant to do with this sacred geometry. And it's like going, well, you know, why are you just turning over the same information? Why don't you pull it back a bit? And instead of making it so complex, why don't you polish what you know, sand it back, strip it back, and polish what you know? So then, as the Queen of Pentacles, my job really changed. But it didn't put me into a place where I was like, I wanted to shoot the messenger. What'd you give me such good advice for? Grr, you know? I don't know if I want to do that. I just want to force these puzzle pieces to fit so I understand it. But he goes, maybe it doesn't, maybe they're not meant to be flipped and turned and adjusted. Maybe they're meant to be sanded and polished. And I went, Righto. So, here the advice from Spirit. Take yourself away from troubled waters. Where is the frustrating part of the process? Is grinding. All right, so here, take what you know, put it in a boat. This is what Ricky's advice was. Sand it back and polish it. Take what you know, put it in a boat, and do what you can to bring it to life. And what is the likely outcome? That you'll get new passion for it, the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands can get a bit of a bad rap sometimes, depending on where she shows in a reading. And as a likely outcome, it kind of makes me want to grrr a little bit, because the Queen of Wands can, she can push for desires with, and it not really have a necessarily solid basis. It can be a little bit of fake energy at time. And then I kind of, when I looked at the Queen, when I'm looking at it, I'm going, maybe fake it till you make it. Take what you know, sand it and polish it. Don't worry about what you don't know. Just stick with what you really do know. And I don't even want to say fake it till you make it, because it's a throwaway line, because I know this stuff, right? So it's not faking it till I make it to know this stuff and strip it back and polish it. And then the new information, just sit with it. So when I say it feels like a bit of a fake energy, it's like going, I don't understand it, but I'll sit with it. I'll sit with it. So this is kind of what this is. I'll have the victory, but there's some level of collateral damage. And I'm one of those people who just, I hate not getting to the bottom of the jar. Like I love to understand. I like to get clarity on the understanding, like Ace of Swords, that's me all over. I need to, things have to feel full circle. If it doesn't make sense to me, I pursue it relentlessly until it does. And right now that's a challenge. It's like going, I can't seem to get to the bottom of this learning quickly enough. It's coming at me so quickly. It's so intense how it's coming at me, but it's really slow to take root. But I feel like I have to act on it. If any of you are resonating with this craziness, just say I right now, because this is the Me Too movement of twin flames, of feeling like we're being pushed really, really quickly. A magnified level of healing or a magnified level of growth with some seriously intense communication put over the top of it. I'm really, really keen to see how this is playing out for Divine Masculine. Honestly, poor Ricky, he's exhausted, and we've had really, really big conversations. The kind of conversations you don't mind having, but they, you kind of want to shoot the messenger in the same breath. So it's like going, we know we're growing, we know we're ascending, don't you give me your wisdom, kind of thing. Don't know if I can handle it right now, because I've got all these other things I've got to figure out. So we'll let him off the hook and let him rest, and let's see how how he's resonating with what we pick up in this reading for Divine Masculine. What have we got? I'm super keen to see what goes on here. We've got Wheel of Fortune. We've got the we've got the Temperance card. Look, Three of Swords. Yeah, we've got the King of Swords. We've got the Hermit. Yeah, look, see, he's gone into his cave. And the Nine of Pentacles as a legit. Did that come out like that? I've had that in a reading really recently. Could have been the last one that I posted, but for the masculine coming out as the Nine of Pentacles in that outcome position, that's happened, and I've just shifted that. But look, no way, that was meant to happen. That was an accident, but it was meant to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually shifted what was at the bottom of the deck then, accidentally. Ace of Pentacles, that's coming out a lot for you, Divine Masculine, isn't it? Yeah, look, okay. Bottom of the deck, what have we got? Queen of Swords. See, he knows how to cut through and get to the heart of the communication. Look, I'm going to keep you focused on what your ascension journey needs to be. And here they're reaping the rewards of the way that they're swinging their sword right now. Like to mine, the way that Ricky's been communicating has lacked great emotion. It's been very, very practical. Even though it's been intense, it's been like it's lacked any great compassion. It's been the messenger that's just like, here, receive my message. I call her the bitch card of tarot. So divine masculine's coming through in the Queen of Swords bitch card energy, or even Ice Queen. Sometimes she can come through, but she's not without wisdom, right? She's not without wisdom. She cuts away any crap, and she just she gets to the point of the equation. That said, it's not necessarily compassionate energy either. It's not empathic or really looking beyond the broader. I'm just going to be very logical and icy and direct with my communication, and it almost brings it to the point of confrontation. So I'm not surprised to see that there. Is it designed to service? Yes. The Lovers come out. Like, you know, I'm only going to say this about this card. Is it designed to service? Yes. This communication that we're toe-to-toe with right now, whether this is coming from your divine masculine, whether this is coming from the universe, you are meant to go through this tough phase because it's designed for your ascension and it's designed to bring you into balance. Now, remember what I said, that Mercury, the planet of communication, is about to move into Libra. Here you've got a sword of communication. Here you've got the scales of Libra. So the way this is pushing this, the way this conversation is playing out is designed to get us fired up for some reason, because we're definitely meant to elevate in our twin flame connections. And by the time Mercury goes into Libra, which is what I was saying, like August 27 is when we should get cleansing energy, and I think it's like the 29th of August that Mercury shifts into Libra. More balanced, reasonable communication comes forward. So it's a push to get there from the bottom of the deck. Then the next level of energy, and this is more fervent, this is more with in line, definitely feeling this, but we're also feeling this, is agitation. And like I said to you, we are not immune from it. Just because we've got to the point of harmonious union, don't think that this isn't playing out for us as well. It's transformative communication. It's not necessarily easy. It can agitate. You can want to shoot the messenger. You can want to, and I think we had Six of Swords here too. Look, you can want to just take your swords and bugger off and figure out what it is you've got to do without the help of your counterpart. It can be a little bit isolating that way. And then again, we've got this energy of the Queen of Wands. She is, so it could even be to me that like the truth of the feelings are not, and I said that back here, look, with Queen of Swords, she doesn't have a lot of empathy, she doesn't have a lot of compassion, and nor does necessarily our Queen of Wands. They're about just communicating their ideals that are important to them without really thinking beyond how it's affecting the person who's receiving it. It's a big thing to work with, and it can leave you feeling bloody battle weary. I tell you, we're not immune from it. Okay, what's playing out from the divine masculine? The Wheel of Fortune. So there's some level of 180 taking place. Here, we do want to have a cleaner approach to how love looks and what it is to drink from this cup. The Knight of Cups is a beautiful energy. It really is. It's like, I call him Mr. Valentine's Day, and it is a lovely energy to have. And, you know, look, honestly, Ricky does walk in with flowers and does the Mr. Valentine stuff. Like, I adore that side of the energy. But then, very, very quickly, it ramps up into the big conversations. So it's like this 180 is happening on the push against the universe is really to make the adjustment on the way the communication is taking place. So at the moment, if you are in separation and your divine masculine isn't communicating with you at all, and you are not receiving these generous tokens, which make you feel the bubble of energies, Look for that to do a 180 very, very soon. This push from the universe is wanting to, like, I'm reading these two very directly together because divine feminine is looking to receive it and divine masculine is looking to be pushed into it. That is what the universe is asking you to experience. I should just be looking at this as a change in fortune for the divine masculine, but I'm not. I'm seeing it as a change in feelings because he's sitting with the Knight of Cups there. And after this, communication that has some level of, some level, what is the word? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. It has some level of damage that occurs. So you lose even though you win. There's some kind of loss that takes place in the way the victory comes about, but it brings you both into balance. There's some massive level of understanding that is going to take place in the way that you two communicate. And it's like, whatever learning is coming at you, divine feminine, right now about how you understand the universe. Like I said to you, my specific teaching right now is sacred geometry and how puzzles fit together and how communication occurs and how realities are built out in front of us. What is your learning? What is it that this communication or this lesson or this growth is going to do to help bring this connection into balance? And remember, what you learn and grow through, they learn and grow through, and whatever this push is going to bring a new balance, a level of balance and understanding. Look at these for opposing energies. In the soul space, you are growing in abundance. In the soul space, this is the push that is required to bring on this energy, right? 3 swords through the heart. Oh my gosh, could it be any more brutal? Now, if he's feeling that in his soul space, divine feminine, and it is the push that's needed to bring him 180 to make some kind of genuine warm offer that has actual compassion attached to it and brings him into a balanced space into your world, then this 3 of Swords energy is, I'm going to call it catalyst energy. It is the swords through the heart, that feeling that pain, that feeling that push, that need to, like, it won't be able to sit in the soul space for long. Under the Jupiter Chiron retrograde, healing will be magnified. So any kind of pain, any kind of dark side, any kind of growing that needs to occur will have forward movement. It's magnified healing. And then we'll have this Uranus-Taurus internal rebellion that will be taking place from the 24th. So we're nearly there. This is what's going to trigger it. This is the trigger point. This feeling the pain of the swords through his heart. Then comes the push from the universe to do a 180. How do they show up in the real world? Balanced. What is their challenge? To say it. Divine masculine, come on. King of Swords. Why are you in the challenge position? Why are you hiding in your cave? Why is it so challenging to get this information out of your mouth and over to your divine feminine, where you get to say your piece? Now, there is this push, honestly. Venus will be in Leo between up till about I think it's the 5th of September. Venus stays in Leo, and this divine masculine needs to be this bigger, bolder expression of love, and it needs to move. It can't sit in hermit energy forever. Jupiter Chiron retrograde is going to push it out of the light, and the energy of Venus and Leo should become a bigger, bolder expression, an external expression that can't be denied. Why are you still sitting in challenge energy that says, I don't want to talk? Come on, we're nearly there. What is the likely outcome is that you're going to sit in the 9 out of the 10. And that's what I'm saying, divine feminine. It still feels like we've got a minute to go in the hermit's cave, where they're learning and growing and figuring it all out. So for mine, if communication comes forward for you, even though they're showing up very, very balanced, I think we've still got a 9 out of 10 situation. Oh, and here, look, I can't deny, here's the push. There's the 10 over here. It's hiding. It's hiding behind all of this work that has to happen first. We've got our 10 out of 10 10 out of 10 pentacles waiting to manifest. Oh, divine feminine, this has been I feel like I'm speaking very quickly and very, intensely, like it's coming out at a rate of knots, which I'm sorry if it feels like I'm flying through it, but I really am feeling this fast-paced energy, but feeling really slow to assimilate it. So if you're understanding that energy, I see you, and we are the Me Too movement of the twin flame community. I swear it. It's been a few days. Okay, it's been a few weeks since we made our move. It's like my head is spinning on my shoulders and we can't hit touchdown. And the kids are saying it too. They're going, how do our feet hit the ground here? There's a level of exhaustion. There's a level of feeling like things are out of control. But it's like they're going, we don't know why we feel this way. We're so happy. We love this house. We've got space. Everything's good. Why are we still feeling rattled? It's all this energy coming at us, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine, and the connection. Righto. Let's roll with these. This is the kicker, right? Always connected. You are always connected, and we're talking about the oneness and the separation lesson here. And I go over these lessons time and time again because I do feel, if you haven't seen our readings before, it'll be new information to you. If you have seen them and you need reminding that you and your twin are always one, then let's do it one more time. So here's our divine cup of love, right? So this is our initial scoop of soul energy. The divine took it out of the latent quantum energy, and it said one scoop into the chalice is one human being. Now the divine, in his wisdom, his or her wisdom, whatever you subscribe to, I don't have an opinion on it, said, for twin flames, I'm going to take that initial scoop and I'm going to create 2 vessels. So 2 vessels from that initial scoop of energy. Now, again, this is where we bring in quantum mechanics and we go, quantum mechanics works the same in the split particle theory. It makes the same sense. This is your original particle and it's split into 2. Once it's in that split particle theory experiment, they put these 2 particles 20 miles apart and they applied a force on particle number 1, and particle number 2 began to react as well. Now they are 20 miles apart, split tiny little particles, 20 miles apart, a force applied on one, reacted with the other one. What it proved is that there's nothing in the nothing. Okay, there is a something in the nothing that allows the force on this one to make this one react. So twin flames, imagine you are that particle. There you are, you're number 1. You have 1 scoop of energy. The divine poured you into 2 cups and he set you apart. This is the separate part of it. But while you are separate, there is nothing in the nothing. There is a something in the nothing that keeps you connected. A force applied on one will affect the other. Okay, so when this card comes up for you, I don't know who needed to hear it again or who needed to hear it for the first time, but in the void between you, it's not a nothing, it's a something. You are always connected. You are always connected to the divine. You are always connected to your twin. You are always connected to everything. You're always connected to this table. But particularly from that original split particle, that's why, it might take billions of split particles for you to stay connected to this table. But it only took 1 split for you to be always connected to your twin. That's why you feel it so intensely. You are one, assume you are 1 particle, split into 2. You are 1 scoop of divine soul energy. You share the same divine soul blueprint. You are never not connected. Whoever needed to hear it or be reminded of it, let this be your message that sinks in. This message is just for you. You're not crazy. You are always connected. You are feeling unusual things because of it. You do sense unusual things because of it. And you are affecting your twin with all the healing that you're doing. Interesting that this comes around for the divine masculine. And it is one of the hot topics that Ricky and I go, when mud comes up for us, this is what comes up, a trip to the circus. And we go, what is it in this energy that is pushing the divine masculine to want to, want to push against the grain? Is like there is a divine force at place pushing them through. Look at this, these big, heavy energies that are going, what is tempting them to want to put a band-aid on whatever sword is rising in the heart of the divine masculine. And I will get Ricky to have a bit of a look at this reading and give his reflections, and hopefully we can get him into a reading tomorrow so he can let us know his insights on this card. But temptation comes through when you're looking for a band-aid fix, really. Is like we need in this world positives and negatives to occur, because we need to find creation occurs because of positive and negatives. It launches from the neutral point, but it's when it has its split, it has these polarities take place. So sometimes things that we don't think are perfect are actually perfect. And for negative or challenging scenarios to arise is actually pretty perfect. Here, let's have a look at what I've written about it. It says, temptation is a desire or enticement to do something generally associated with being wrong or even evil, to deviate us from our truth or divine path. It is a test where our free will is on trial. Make your choices trusting your inner knowing and relying on the divine. Everything is permissible, even when it is not beneficial. And watch this life, and with this life so full to the brim of opportunities and events designed to test us and tempt us, at times we are sure to succumb. Take heart that you will never fall so far from your path that you cannot be redeemed. Temptation is common to us all, and you will enjoy your tests and trials. Keep the faith. So I don't know what temptation is coming up against the divine masculine right now, but it is being triggered by a pain event. And perhaps this is what's going on, is they're being challenged. Instead of talking about it and doing the work necessary to bring themselves into alignment, they're instead pushing away from it, going into the hermit's cave. Who knows what they're doing in the hermit's cave, but it feels to me like a part of that journey is some level of temptation or something designed to put them off their true path. But what is the energy of the connection is divine knowledge. So however this energy is going to play out between understanding that you're always connected and the divine masculine being tempted, fully tempted to engage free will and not listen to the call of the divine, to want to ascend, to want to do 180s, to want to come into balance, divine knowledge is going to be imparted upon the connection because of these challenging sequence of events that are taking place. Honestly, it's such big energy. I can barely fathom how intense and how quickly it is coming at everybody. It's a big one. Look, divine feminine, if you are feeling this half as intensely as what I am, I just want to again say, we have our own Me Too movement amongst the divine community going, because we're sensitive souls and we're aware of energy, that we do feel it intensely. And I want to say to you that there's people walking around who have no idea of how universal energies work, who just want to snap people's heads off. They do. Trust me, I've been on the receiving end on my phone line job, hearing how, aggressive people are feeling. So what I want to say to you is, whatever push this is given within you, let's lean into it deeply. Let's do this work together, and this opportunity for magnified healing, let's feel very, very deeply where it's rising in us. I know I had this horrible pain in my chest the other night. I woke up and I just couldn't breathe. I couldn't get a breath and I couldn't stop coughing. And it felt horrendous. Ricky's hit me on the back saying, just breathe. And then we've done this big steam bowl thing to try and get oxygen in. But I was going, I am having physical pain in my heart space. Something wants to crack open here. Are you having physical symptoms? Are you having headaches? Are you not able to communicate? Is your voice is your throat chakra getting locked up? Is your gut sick? Where is it that you've got to shift energy to be able to keep pace with how intense this moment is? Honestly, once we get through, I fully anticipate that by the 27th of August, we're going to have a fresh new approach and we're going to feel like this energy has been washed clean. And honestly, let's look forward to that. Honestly, divine knowledge is the grand result of understanding oneness and separateness, and the masculine being pushed into temptation and his free will being on trial. This is a doozy, divine feminine. I am definitely going to keep my finger on the pulse of this energy and try and do daily updates on what's happening, because it's getting juicy. I tell you, it's getting super juicy. That's where I'm going to leave this reading tonight, though. Sorry if it felt like I talked quicker than normal, or I purged this energy, this reading onto you. But just want to say, me too. Feeling it, seeing you, sending so much love. And again, if you want to reach out to us, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or here on YouTube, we will do our absolute best to stay on top of getting in touch with everyone on those messages. And if you do want a personal reading, more than happy to accommodate you for that. And it doesn't matter where you live in the world. We live in Australia, but I will definitely work with time zones to be able to, if you feel like you need that one-on-one, we're more than happy to move into that reading space with you. Take a breath, Susie, get some air in. Sending so much love out to our divine community. In faith, hope, and love, it is bye from me for now.